The latest Meld Studios update has just dropped, and this one has ruffled quite a few feathers. Actually, can we even call it an update? Meld Studios is the streaming platform that has taken the streamer world by storm over the past few months. If you don't stream directly from a console, chances are you've used a software like OBS, and to date, apart from XSplit, there's not really been many alternatives. But now Meld Studios is here, and they have literally taken the streaming world by storm. Now, don't get me wrong, they started right at the bottom. The platform was basic, and they basically just started with the basics. But what made them stand out, that the effects were actually built into the platform, as opposed to OBS where you'd have to use like a plugin to do certain effects. This has made Meld so much more appealing for the smaller creator who maybe doesn't have as much expertise when it comes to OBS plugins. And honestly, I'm all for that. Plus, a bit of competition has never really hurt anyone. Since then, the platform has really changed. They've added the multi-canvas, they've added multi-streaming, and literally every week there's a new update with either quality of life improvements or new features, like when they added the widgets, for example. To me, that shows that their main focus is the creator. Now, the beauty of it, all of this, it's free. Weird business model, you might say, but actually they have a plan. I'm not quite sure how much I can actually say, but I have heard rumors of certain features coming, which quite honestly could literally change the streaming world. If you haven't already, I really would say go and give Meld a go. It's free, it's easy to use, it's intuitive, the UI is so simple, and honestly, it just performs really, really well. But anyway, back to this latest update. You're probably wondering why I'm saying update with the air quotes. Well, it's because it didn't actually happen inside of Meld Studios, and it's called Meld Multi. If you want to multi-stream, you basically need to add every single output into Meld Studios, and then when you stream, you send a signal to each of those platforms individually. Now, for a lot of people, that's not a problem. If you've got really good fiber internet, you're close to where the servers are located, it's not an issue. But for some people, internet upload speeds are just plain crappy. Now, the way to improve that is super simple. Normally, to stream to 5 platforms, you would send 5 individual signals to 5 separate platforms. But with Multi by Meld, you actually send one signal to the cloud, and then Meld, through their hosted server thingy, they then send the individual signals to all of your streaming platforms. Now, what that means, instead of having to use 5 times the bandwidth to stream to 5 platforms, you are using 1 bandwidth of upload speed. And then Meld carries the burden of the rest of it at their end, again, in the cloud somewhere. This is a great solution if you have very crappy internet. Now, why has this ruffled a few feathers? Well, because actually Meld, they weren't the first to do it. This type of product has been in the market for 10 years or so. Companies like Restream have been doing it, and quite honestly, they do it really, really well. Myself personally, I actually use Restream on one of their premium plans, so I can actually multi-stream to 3 custom RTMP sources through Restream. So effectively, when I now stream to all of my platforms, I go via Restream for the horizontal streaming, and then to TikTok via the virtual camera and the studio for vertical streaming. This means that for me, I'm actually streaming to 4 platforms with the bandwidth of 2. Now, by this point, you should be asking yourself, well, if Meld is free, why aren't you using Meld? The simple answer is because I'm away in London for the week and I don't have my streaming setup with me. Otherwise, trust me, I would be giving it a go. Restream does have certain advantages for me as a user. For example, I'm in the UK, so to stream to the cloud, I can actually go via one of Restream's UK servers. We're literally a few days into Multi by Meld, and they have 1 server located in Virginia. In the grand scheme of things, this actually shouldn't pose too much of a problem, but just from a reliability and quality of life, I think having the UK server is probably 5, 10, 15% slightly better than going through a US server. But again, it's untested, so that's just a guesstimation. Recently on social media, the Restream people have kind of, taken offense to Meld saying, we do this software, etc., etc. Like, yeah, guys, we've done this for 10 years now. But do you know what? Actually, a lot of the features on Restream are held behind a paywall. For example, on the free plan, you can only use 2 outputs. I don't think you can even have custom RTMPs. For me, I pay £19 a month, and that gives me 3 outputs, and I can actually have custom RTMPs. So I can use that to go through Rumble Studio, for example. With Meld, so if you bring up the web page and you look at the features that they mention, multi-stream made truly easy, stream to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, LinkedIn, Facebook Live, and more, completely free, no limits, no watermarks. That's another thing, not going to go into it. It's just on Restream, they mentioned that you have to have a plan to have no watermark, but actually if you go via OBS, even on the free plan, there is no watermark. I think that's just poorly communicated. But yeah, full power at 0 cost. No surprise charges, no watermarks, just seamless high quality streaming to unlimited platforms. There's no streaming restrictions, so you can do unlimited FPS, no bitrate caps, you can stream in full HD, 4K or higher, and you've got unlimited streaming duration. Some platforms put a limit of how many gigs or how long you can have a session for. There's also pro features that you'd find on Restream in the paid plans that they are offering for free. For example, you could do RTMP as a source, you could do custom destinations. On Restream, you have to have the paid plans to be able to use those features. Custom destinations, no watermarks, and no hidden fees. And to be honest, because it's a Meld product, if you're using Meld Studios, the integration between the two should actually meld, pardon the pun, quite nicely. So there it is. It's not really an update, it's actually a new product which is owned by Meld. And to be honest with you, it's quite nice to see other companies start realizing the impact of multi-streaming and how it can really help smaller creators, or creators of all sizes actually, grow and reach more audiences. Will I be trying it? Hell yeah. I'm getting home Saturday lunchtime, and the first thing I'm doing is setting it up, and I'm gonna run some test streams. But on the flip side of that, am I gonna rush and cancel my Restream plan? No. The answer is no. At the end of the day, it's not tested. Restream has UK servers, whereas Meld only has the US one for now. But again, until I've tested it, I can't make a decision. I think ultimately the point is, go and try it for yourself. There's only one person that can tell you what works for you, and that's you. All I'm gonna say is, I'm a massive fan of the Meld products, the streaming platform, the integrations, all of the different widgets, the effects. They're absolutely amazing to use and so easy to use. And I ditched OBS a long time ago. And to be honest, some of the things that come in the future, some of the features that they're going to be adding to the studio, again, can't say too much because I don't know what I can and can't say, but those are going to be really exciting. Go and check out Meld and all their products. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm Frenchy4185. Go and drop me a follow. Peace out.